Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Tuesday wherever you are today. Thank you for being here, and we do have a wonderful story to go together. Thank you so much for joining in, and I'm really glad you're here with me today for another amazing story. Get comfortable, get cozy, please get situated as we're about to get started with our story. Thank you so much for sharing all your lovely messages. For those that were joining us for the recordings, we appreciate you and indeed say hello to you. Thank you so much for joining in. Amanda Wortman and Baby Bia, always appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you indeed. And to everybody, Betty Graydon, thank you for joining us out in Florida. We know you always join us at 11. Thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate you, and we hope that you have a lovely day today. Thank you for being here. To everybody that joins us, Kennedy Kapolio Kambamba all the way out in Turkey, thank you so much as well for joining in Story Time. We appreciate you and hope all your work is going well. Thank you indeed for being here and welcome. I hope that you have a lovely day indeed. And yesterday was a day of being grateful for something. Thank you to all those that shared. Good to know what you were grateful for yesterday, and you can keep that going for the week. You can keep that going for today, as we'll be looking at just books that help us look at conservation, animal conservation, as well as just observing our world. And of course, we'll be also reading a book celebrating Pride Month this Friday. So thank you so much. And of course, we'll be bringing more books about pride as we go along in the month. Thank you so much for joining in. As we say, love is love. And indeed, I hope that this world can keep becoming more tolerant. And I know that there are many things that may, political issues that come in play, but I hope that people can be allowed to love who they love, and indeed be allowed to live in a world as authentic as they can be as themselves. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Absolutely appreciate that you are here, and indeed we hope that you enjoy the story that we have for you today. And of course, please do send us those recommendations. Keep sending them to us, and we are definitely working to bring them here to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope you're well. Please also let us know where you are. And today we are reading, oh yes, I had it right the first time. The Elephants Come Home. Yes, this one is coming to you from Kim TOMSIC and HADLEY HOOPER, and we're reading it with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. This has become one of my favorites for sure. I love it. I think even when I travel at times, I carry it with me because it's one that I can read through over and over, and almost every time I see something new. This one, the full title is The Elephants Come Home, a true story of 7 elephants two people, and an extraordinary friendship. And I hope that you can join in and enjoy that journey and see this extraordinary friendship in action. Thank you so much for joining in, and buckle up. We're going all the way down to South Africa today, and we'll be at a place called Thula Thula. Thank you so much for being here. Absolutely love it that we're here together. A wonderful book indeed, written by amazing people. And yeah, glad we're here together. Thank you for joining in. Happy Tuesday to all of you. Thank you for being here. Let us see who is with us this morning before we get started with our story. Thank you so much for joining in indeed. Thank you, Chris and Mitchell Adams. Absolutely loving it. Good morning to you. And you say good morning from a very pollinated Vermont. Borden and I are inside today, hiding from allergies. Oh, feeling grateful for story time. Well, feeling grateful for you. And I know it's such a, like you celebrate the summer coming and the spring and all the weather, but then we also know that there's so many allergies and pollen in the air and everything that goes on. So sending you love, sending you hugs, and glad we could be here together at least for the morning. And I hope that your allergies don't spike too crazy. Thank you so much for joining in, and glad you're here. And to everybody else too that is affected, I know I have friends who have to take allergy medication and stuff just to make sure that they are okay. Thinking of you too today. Thank you so much for sharing and absolutely celebrating being here with you. Chrissy and of course Bowden, good morning to you out in Vermont. Thank you so much for joining in. Jason, how are you doing today, buddy? Good to see you here. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you're here with us from right here in Oakland. I hope that your summer break is off to a great start. As you may know, out here in Oakland, school ended on May 25th. So yes, summer break starts a little early, although we do go back a little early too. Thank you so much for joining in. Good to see you, JCN. And it was definitely good to see you on Saturday too, buddy. Thank you for being here. And of course, if you're with Autumn, we say good morning to you too, Autumn. Thank you so much for joining in on Story Time today. Glad you're here. We are reading a wonderful book. This one coming back to Story Time for, I think, the 100th time now. We love it that much. Thank you so much for joining in. This one is called The Elephants Come Home, a true story of 7 elephants, 2 people, and an extraordinary friendship. And this one is written by Kim TOMSIC and illustrations by HADLEY Hooper. And we're reading it with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely love it that you're here with us. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in. JC, you're even closer than I thought. Thank you so much for joining in with your uncle today. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us out here in Oakland. I hope that you have a lovely time. Thank you indeed. Absolutely appreciate you, and hopefully see you soon, both of you, Jason and your uncle. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you, Rory. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us out in Salinas. Thank you for being here. I am glad you're here with us. Indeed, great to see you here on Story Time. Thank you for being here. And indeed, I hope that you are doing well. I hope the grandkids are doing well. I hope the kids are doing well. Indeed, I hope everyone is doing well out in Salinas. Thank you so much for joining in. Good to see you here with us on Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in. And Paul, how are you as well? Thank you. I hope that you are well. Good to see you. And I hope that we'll see you at the next family gathering for sure. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. I hope that you enjoy the story that we have today. A wonderful one indeed. The Elephants Come Home. We'll be getting started very, very shortly. Join me on the other side of this short message as we get ready for our story. Yes, indeed. See you on the flip side. Thank you. All right, here we go.
Hi, my name's Christine Mitchell Adams. I'm a mama and an artist. And I believe that books are a great way for children to have access to the arts on an everyday basis, which is why I believe that programs like Storytime with Mr. LaMotta are so important.
Thank you so much. Thank you indeed, Chrissy, artist from Vermont, Mama from Vermont, and of course, a loved family member of Storytime community. Thank you so much, Chrissy, for that wonderful message. Good morning to you one more time, Bowden, and I hope that you will be indeed staying safe away from all that pollen outside. Thank you so much for joining in. Here we go, our story for today from Kim TOMSIC and illustrations by Hadley Hooper. This one is called The Elephants Come Home, a true story of 7 elephants, 2 people, and an extraordinary friendship. Join in for this one. Get ready, get your snack, get comfortable. It is a good one. And indeed, maybe even a few tears after this one. It is that good. Here we go. It has just some of the most amazing art, this book. The Elephants Come Home, a true story of 7 elephants, 2 people, and 1 extraordinary friendship. This coming to you from Kim TOMSIC and Hadley Hooper, and of course, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. All right, here we go. This is Lawrence. He loves animals. Do you too? Me too. This is Francoise. She loves Lawrence. This is Max. Max looks so happy. They all look so happy. This is Lawrence. He loves animals. This is Francoise. She loves Lawrence. And this is Max. And this is Thula Thula, a farmhouse, a garden, a swimming pool, and 11,000 acres of African bush, savanna, and forest. I miss home. And this is Thula Thula, a farmhouse, a garden, a swimming pool, and 11,000 acres of African bush, savanna, and forest. Oh, yes. If you have not been on African safari, you gotta go. I hope you can go one day. Around Thula Thula stretch miles and miles of fences so the rhinos can splash in the river. The impala, Cape buffalo, and zebra can graze the savannah. Even the crocodiles at the Guala Guala Dam can swim in peace. That's very important. Yeah, there is no hunting at Thula Thula. No hunting at Thula Thula. The animals can live in peace. Around Thula Thula stretch miles and miles of fences so the rhinos can splash in the river. The impala, Cape buffalo, and zebra can graze the savannah. Even the crocodiles at the Guala Guala Dam can swim in peace. There is no hunting at Thula Thula. Yes. When spitting snakes creep into the farmhouse kitchen, Lawrence uses a soft broom to scoot them outside. Oh, what would you do if you found a snake in your house? When bark spiders weave webs between the patio furniture, Francoise tiptoes around them. And when the monkeys steal cheese from Francoise and treats from Max, well, it's the monkey's job to find food, so nobody scolds them. Oh, nobody scolds them indeed. One day, a lady telephones. "Lawrence," she says, "will you adopt a herd of angry elephants?" "Angry?" Lawrence asks. "They've been bullied and hunted," the lady said. "Now they roar at the rangers and crash our fences. Folks are frightened the herd might stampede through the town. The village chief says it's a matter of safety. The herd must leave. or be shot. What? Lawrence has never taken care of elephants before, but he says yes, they may come to Thula Thula. Thank you, Lawrence. Lawrence has never taken care of a herd of elephants before, but he says yes, they may come to Thula Thula. Oh, that is so nice. To prepare for their arrival, he builds a boma, a wide corral with a strong fence where the elephants can live while they get used to their new home. He repairs broken spots in the outer fence. Oh. Then he posts signs reminding the neighboring Zulu villagers, no hunting. No hunting at Thula Thula, please. Meanwhile, the elephants ride in a trailer past sycamore figs and acacia trees beyond the Umfolozi swamp and along the Nzeleni River. They bump over 1, 2, 3 railway tracks and then down a dirt path where a sign points the way to Thula Thula. The elephants come. Can you feel the excitement? The elephants are coming here. Down the ramp stomps the herd's leader, Nana. Then Little Mandla, Big Frankie, and 4 others. How much does that make? Down comes the leader, Nana. Then Little Mandla, Big Frankie. That's 3 plus 4 more. You get 7. Yes. They all stomp out. What do you think is going to happen? Who's there to meet them? They look at the unfamiliar farmhouse, its swimming pool, and the boma. They look at the strangers, Lawrence, Francoise, and the rangers. Right away, the elephants pound their hooves and trumpet angrily. They are naughty, the rangers complain. They are nervous, Lawrence says. Wouldn't you be if you moved far from your home? That's a good question. Wouldn't you be nervous if you moved far from your home? Far from your home to an unfamiliar place. Everybody holds a breath and waits. Finally, the elephants calm their noises and tromp into the boma, especially built for them. Yay. That night, while Lawrence and Francois sleep, Nana and Frankie heave their heads against a giant tamboti tree. They push and shove until the tree topples and smashes the boma fence. The elephants bulldoze forward and use their bodies to break the outer fence. Crash! Everything comes crashing down. The herd marches out of Thula Thula. No, stay where it's safe. At sunrise, a worker cries, "The elephants are gone! Oh no!" Lawrence looks for the herd by the Nzeleni River. Francoise and Max look by the Gwala Gwala Dam. Word spreads and others look for them. Hunters too, unfortunately. Danger waits for the elephants outside the safety of Thula Thula. Oh, I hope someone can get to them before then. Word spreads and others look for them. Hunters too, unfortunately. Danger waits for the elephants outside the safety of Thula Thula. Lawrence's friend Peter has a helicopter and searches the thick jungle from the sky. Eureka! He spots the elephants in a grove of acacia trees. Still, the emergency isn't over. He has to convince the elephants to turn around, and fast. They are walking closer and closer to dangerous territory. Oh. Good luck, Peter. I hope you can manage to convince them to turn around. As they are getting closer and closer to dangerous territory. Peter zooms close to the elephants over and over again, trying to herd them away. The elephants are unimpressed, but finally, inch by inch, the elephants turn back to Thula Thula. Whew. Will they stay the course? Back in the boma, the elephants bellow, throw dust, and flatten their ears. They are dangerous, the rangers say. They are sad, says Francoise. They are still scared, says Lawrence. What can we do to help? They are dangerous, say the rangers. No, they are sad, says Francoise. They're still scared, says Lawrence. Poor elephants. The herd approaches the repaired boma fence, ready to knock it down again. But Lawrence stands in front of them. Nana, Lawrence says, please don't go. If you leave, you, your baby, and your herd will be hurt. Nana curls her trunk and lifts her ears. Maybe you're worried about this new home and tired from the journey, Lawrence says. But if you rest, I will take care of you. I will live with you by day and camp with you by night. I will stay with you, and you will not be alone. Oh. And those words we want to hear from a friend. If you rest, I will take care of you. I will live with you by day and camp with you by night. I will stay with you, and you will not be alone. Oh. Nana meets Lawrence's eyes for a moment. Then she turns away from the fence and leads the herd into the boma's brush. Progress. The elephants stay. Oh. Yay. Lawrence builds a tent, and he and Max camp by the boma. He sings to the elephants during the day and tells them stories at night. Aww. Lawrence builds a tent, and he and Max camp by the boma. He sings to the elephants during the day and tells them stories at night. Soon, the elephants' cranky behavior changes to ear flopping, head waggling, and trumpeting. What does it mean? Francoise asks. They are happy, Lawrence says. Aww. That's what we want, don't we? Happy, happy elephants. Lawrence and Nana get to know each other. They walk together and talk together. Lawrence with words, Nana with comfortable rumbles. One morning, Nana does something very special. She reaches her trunk through the gate and pats Lawrence's stomach. It's a sign of friendship. Lawrence knows he can trust the elephants now. Aww. One morning, Nana does something very special. She reaches her trunk through the gate and pats Lawrence's stomach. It is a sign of friendship. Lawrence knows he can trust the elephants now. At last, he opens the boma gates wide so the elephants can explore the pastures, rivers, and thickets of Thula Thula. The herd wanders off into the hills. They will graze the savannas. They will splash and play. They are home. Aw. They are home indeed, where it is safe and they are loved. Lawrence and Max move back into the house, and the elephants stroll to the lawn for regular visits. Nana likes eating from Francois' garden, swimming in the pool, and clomping on the porch to pat Lawrence's stomach. Aww. And whenever Lawrence goes away, somehow the herd knows the exact moment of his return. They always come to the house just in time to welcome him home. Aww. Years go by, and the elephants spend more and more time far away in the part of Thula Thula where the best acacia trees grow. A 12-hour journey from Lawrence and Francois' house. Lawrence and Francois continue to live in the farmhouse, sweeping, spitting snakes, tiptoeing around webs, and loving Max. Francois' garden grows lush, and Lawrence's beard speckles with gray. The rhinos splash in the river, the Cape buffalo graze the savannah, and the crocodiles at the Guala Guala Dam swim in peace. Every few years, Nana and the herd come for a visit. Yes, indeed. Then, one sunny summer day, Lawrence dies. Oh. Somehow, deep in the brush of Thula Thula, the elephants know. How do they know? One sunny summer day, Lawrence dies. Somehow, deep in the brush of Thula Thula, the elephants know. They begin their trek toward Lawrence's home that very day. They journey past the Nseleni River and by the sycamore figs, across the savannah and beyond the Guala Guala Dam. They trek for a long, long time. They walk and they walk. The elephants come. Francoise looks out her window as the herd forms a circle around the house. The elephants look at Francoise, make soft rumbles, and bow their heads. They spend the next 3 days there. The elephants live with Francoise by day and camp with her by night. Oh, isn't that sweet? The elephants live with Francoise by day and camp with her by night. They stay with her, and she is not alone. Oh. That is the end of our story, and there's a lot more in the back there too that just talks about the real life, Francoise, and of course Lawrence as well, and Thula Thula. Let me see if I can find. Here's a picture of them too in the back, as you can see there. There's Lawrence with Nana and little Frankie and little Mandla. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. I hope you enjoyed that lovely story indeed. Always just manages to reach for my heart, this one. Thank you so much for joining in. It is called The Elephants Come Home. And this is a true story of 7 elephants, 2 people, and 1 extraordinary friendship. And if you do manage to get this book, I encourage you to read the author's note as well in the back. And of course, also go back to an interview with Kim TOMSIC here on Storytime and get to learn a lot more about the book and also the process of writing this book, the research that went into it. Thank you so much for joining in today. This has been Storytime. I hope you enjoyed it. This one is written by Kim TOMSIC and illustrations by HADLEY HOOPER, and we're reading it with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining in for Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you, and I hope you enjoyed that one. Indeed, the work of animal conservation goes on, and laws still need to be passed to protect so many animals that are endangered, so many animals that are threatened. And we know that, things like poaching go on even in countries like Zambia, where I come from, and many other places. And we need to put measures in place to protect these animals, and even maybe, put laws that forbid sales and of certain things that people get. For example, we know that people get elephant tusks and so on, and so just how can we make sure that those things are protected, the animals are protected indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Glad you were here with us for a wonderful story, a wonderful friendship, and you can see too just the great bond that was formed with Lawrence, Francoise, and the elephants, Nana, and the crew. Thank you so much for joining in today. I hope that you have bonds that are that strong in your family, bonds that are strong with your friends, and I hope that you have a lovely day indeed today. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. Good to see people, good to see familiar names out there. Love it. And of course, invite new people to Storytime too. Let's welcome into our wonderful community. Please do join me tomorrow as we'll be observing something beautiful out there by the sea. Thank you so much for joining in. And tomorrow we will be looking at the lights and types of ships at night. And this one comes to you from Dave Eggers and Annie Dills. Actually, Annie Dills is from here, right here in Oakland. So we'll be reading this wonderful book. We'll be looking at amazing pictures of amazing boats at night. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Glad you are here with us for this one today. I hope that you have a wonderful time. Please keep sending your recommendations so we can bring them here to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in. Glad you are here with us. Let us see one more time who was with us and how you enjoyed that wonderful story. Thank you indeed. Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining in, Rory. Absolutely appreciate you all. Hopefully see you soon, and I'll definitely be passing on greetings to Lydia. Thank you so much for joining in today. Absolutely love it, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Hopefully a Salinas trip or something coming up very, very shortly. Thank you so much for being here. Please give my love to everybody out there. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you, Amanda West. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you indeed, joining in a little later than usual. Well, you're on Zambian time. Yes, indeed, embrace it. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for being here. I am glad you are here with us. Sarah and Nathan will watch after their comic book camp ends at lunch. Oh my goodness, that sounds like so much fun. Please do share the details. Thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate you. Sending you love, Sarah, out there in wonderful Illinois. Thank you for being here with us too on Storytime. We are glad you are here. Thank you indeed. And please, my love to everybody as well. Sarah and Nathan, as you enjoy this later on for the recording, sending you love. Thank you for being here. Hugs. And I'll definitely see you tomorrow for more Storytime when we're back for another exciting book. And this one is called The Lights and Types of Ships at Night. And this one is coming to you from Dave Eggers and Annie Dills. Please do join me for this one and get to enjoy a lovely story indeed. Thank you to everybody that joined in today. Glad you are here. Jason and your uncle, thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're joining us from Oakland. Thank you for being here. So glad you are here with us. Good morning to you, Chris and Mitchell Adams. Thank you for being here. And of course, Bolden, I hope that you continue to feel well And indeed, I hope that that pollen in the air reduces a little bit, so indeed you can breathe freely and enjoy the outdoors as well. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. Thank you for joining us all the way out in Vermont. Thank you indeed for being here. To everybody that joined in Storytime, you are appreciated. You are loved. We appreciate you here in this community. Thank you for making Storytime what it is. Indeed, you bring the positivity, you bring the love, and indeed, it is an easy space for me to be here and just enjoy your company, and of course reading books together. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope that you have access to your local libraries. I hope you have a space that you can go and grab some books and find that space too, that you can sit and get lost in these wonderful worlds that our books present. Thank you so much for being here. Hugs from me to you, and I will definitely see you. Well, I will see you tomorrow, God willing. We are here 7 a.m. Pacific time, as well as 11 a.m. Pacific time. You can join us. But remember, like Sarah and Nathan, you can join us for the recordings at any time and enjoy. Thank you for being here on Storytime. Sending you love, and I wish you bonds that last forever, bonds that indeed heal, bonds that keep you going. Thank you indeed. Like we have here Francoise and Lawrence and the elephants. You can see it's a very special bond, a very special friendship, an extraordinary friendship. Thank you so much for being here. Hugs, hugs, hugs. I will see you again tomorrow for more story time. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. He brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be